From reservations in lateral entry to the new pension scheme making way for the unified pension scheme, the draft broadcasting bill being withdrawn, the Waqf Amendment Act going to the JPC, and long-term capital gains or indexation proposals being diluted. The Congress is gleefully citing all these instances of what it says are U-turns to cite how the Narendra Modi government in its third term is prone to rollbacks under pressure from the opposition and especially its allies. But if you speak to the government, they clearly say that the government is acting out of political pragmatism, cognizant of what some BJP leaders say is the opposition's designs to trigger people into an agitation over caste issue, and that the government does not want to derail the country's growth story. Well, the government describes all these moves also as being cognizant of public feedback, while also demolishing the calling cards of the Congress party politically. This many in the BJP also feel is a part of reclaiming the political narrative after the Lok Sabha polls and a measure of political pragmatism being shown by Prime Minister Modi. Well, two more frontiers are now being spoken of in the power corridors of Raisina Hill for a possible relook. Number one, the review of the Agnipath scheme to bring in changes in the structure of the scheme. Number two, addressing the demand of the caste census that NDA ally Chirag Paswan has also made a case for just yesterday. Well, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh has on more than one occasion said that the government is open to changes in the Agnipath scheme to improve it further. The scheme introduced just 2 years ago for entry to the armed forces is seen as contributing in some measure to the electoral reverses of the BJP in the Lok Sabha elections, as the Congress made a promise to scrap this scheme if it was voted to power. Similarly, the caste census is an issue that both key NDA allies, the JDU and the LJP, are votaries of, given the nature of Bihar's caste politics. The state will be going to polls next year. So far, the Prime Minister has put up a vociferous defense of the Agnipath scheme, the latest being just in Kargil last month. The government has also firmly rejected all demands for a caste census, terming it a divisive move. Another issue that has been simmering is the committee to look into the minimum support price issue, with the opposition demanding a law guaranteeing MSP for farmers. If we rewind a few years, there were two other big moves that were withdrawn by the Modi government in its earlier tenures. Number one was the land acquisition bill, which was rolled back in the first term, and the 3 farm laws, which were rolled back in the second term. Well, these rollbacks happened when the BJP had a full majority government at the centre, and BJP leaders cite them to say that it was not the opposition's pressure, but it is political pragmatism that has prevailed in the last 1 month. The return of caste politics to the central political discourse is also dictating the government's decisions, like to oppose the Supreme Court judgment on subcategorization of scheduled castes and creamy layer exclusion, or introducing the reservation pie in the lateral entry scheme for the first time. What BJP officials say, BJP sources say that the government is very cognizant of the opposition's designs to trigger people into an agitation over such caste issues and does not want to derail the country's growth story.